welcome. We are back on another exciting episode of Unfiltered Podcast with Iyada Nicole. We have made it to season 2. Thank you guys for sticking with me through season 1. It was a rough one, but we did it. We made it. And I am back with you guys' favorite guests, Miss Marlin and Miss Angela.
Hey, what up?
Thank you guys for coming out.
Hopefully. I'm still the favorite?
Girl, you the favorite.
Wow.
Spiritual one, the favorite,
wow.
level-headed one, but the girl I had on before, the favorite freaky one.
Okay. I
need to find her. Like, y'all better go check her OnlyFans. We can't have OnlyFans, so
find her. Yeah.
But that is not. No, we ain't gonna go back to that topic.
We're not going back
there.
We
can.
We ain't going
back there.
I'm better now.
So I ain't seen you guys shit in over a month. I didn't see that all August.
Yeah. No, you seen us at Reggae Fest.
Yeah, but I mean, like here, like
It's been a little bit.
Yeah, and then that time when we had the incident, the 4-hour.
Oh my God!
Man,
you gonna tell them about that?
We had the 4-hour episode, and it was a hot one. It was so good. It was so, for me, it was very healing. I think we did it
we released that day.
Yes, and then it got screwed up, and it really broke my heart. I was mad. So again, I was doing as above, so below. I wanted to cuss myself out because I was so I was so mad. But anyway, thank you guys for coming back.
Thank you for having us again. Thank you.
I ain't gonna lie. After that one, I was like, they're never coming back. Okay.
No, why would it came back? But that was just for us. I told you how I felt about that.
Yeah, it was very spiritual, very moving, very thought provoking.
Yeah,
it really helped me, and that's why I like having you here to have somebody who's way more level headed than me and who's way more devout in her spirituality than I probably am. So that helps me a lot, and hopefully whoever's listening, whoever's watching, that it can help you as well. You guys can reach out to her, actually, not for spiritual healing because she belongs to me, but like, she does have your T-shirts.
Yeah, Sacred Elevation.
Yes, and they can find Sacred Elevation
on Instagram. I have an Etsy. Yeah,
you let us know what it is. Yeah.
What?
Just Sacred Elevation.
Yeah, so Sacred Elevation Wear.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you Google Sacred Elevation Wear,
yep.
You can find her on Instagram and on Etsy. Google it, and it should bring you to her link. So what's been going on with you guys?
I had quite the summer.
Oh yeah, quite the summer.
Like good summer?
Yeah.
It's like a mix. My daughter went with her dad for a few weeks, for 6 weeks.
Wow.
At her request.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
How did you deal with it?
Oh gosh, I was in shambles. But it's something that she needed to do, and I needed to allow her to see for herself and come to her own conclusions, and to also, what I wanted her to teach her with this is that to empower her, that you make these decisions and they also have consequences. And then as well as she gets to see her dad for who he really is, and then come to the conclusions about him on her own.
And how is she doing?
Oh, since
my heart is beating like it was my kid that went. But I know.
Oh, that was a trying 6 weeks, and he sure did a lot of stuff, but I just leaned on my spirituality, leaned on my wonderful partner, and just, stayed prayed up, stayed meditated up, stayed close to the ancestors, and she came back a completely different kid. She is just attitude just shifted. She realized on her own who that person is. That is her father.
But and she's good. She's not traumatized.
I mean, So what I was prepared. While she was over there, I was preparing for when she came back. I got her immediately into therapy as soon as she got back.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's so crazy that our children, and I mean, I guess we probably had to do some healing from our childhood traumas too. But it's like, you would think, like, when does the cycle break?
Yeah.
Because, our generation, I say our generation because I feel like I'm y'all age. But, but I mean, we're parents, you know what I mean?
Right.
So it's like, we know the shit that we've had to heal from, or still healing from our childhood trauma. So it's like, I know I walk on eggshells now with my children. It's like, I don't want to be my mom.
Right.
I don't want y'all to have childhood that I had.
Right.
You know, and you would think that the fathers, because 9 times out of 10, not for now, let's be fucking for real. A lot of broken homes are because the dad left. So a lot of men came from broken homes where there was no dad. Wouldn't you want to do better for your child? Wouldn't you want to break the cycle for your child? You know what I mean?
You would think that they do, but what's easier, to heal or to continue the toxicity?
Yeah. Or just the leaving.
Yeah.
Period.
It's
You know what I
easier
mean?
to do what you know, and sometimes that's to hurt people because that's what you've seen.
Yeah.
It takes a lot to heal. If healing was easy, everybody would do it.
Yeah, you're right.
So
healing also takes some accountability and some self-awareness as well.
Yep,
And
that
sitting with yourself.
Yep.
That
a lot of people can handle that. There's too many distractions.
Mm-hmm.
Too much. Like right now, I told you I was detoxing, so I'm detoxing. I'm 2 weeks. On social media, from the phone in general, because I feel like the phone has become an idol. People cannot put that phone down.
Yeah. And Angie's over there on her phone.
They cannot put the phone down. People can't have a conversation with you. Like, it's like humanity is like failing. Like, we cannot have a conversation. Like, it's not intimate anymore. Like, we can't talk about nothing. Any type of silence, people are picking up their phone. Like, you can't just be in the moment. You can't just enjoy each other's company. You gotta be all in that phone.
Can't enjoy their own company.
Yeah.
So no, they can't enjoy. You know, and it's the showy thing. I gotta show off that I'm here.
Right.
I gotta show off what I'm wearing.
If I didn't snap it, it didn't happen.
Yeah.
What? So I was like, I challenged myself because my birthday is at the end of the month. I'm like 4-week detox from social media, alcohol. I mean, I'm not a big drinker like that anyways, but like red meat, pork, just detox completely. Yeah.
That's definitely more of a spiritual journey than anything.
Yeah.
You definitely have to be prayed up and, you know, to do that because no fun. Like, you know. I mean, no meat, no, you know, no food, no liquor. No.
Yeah.
The alcohol I could do. But like you said, the distraction of it.
Yeah.
Summertime, don't look for me. I'm at the bar.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie. Wintertime, I'm hibernating.
Yeah.
It's easier in the wintertime to not do certain things. But that's good. Good for you.
Yeah. You know, new birthday, so I'm trying to bring it in with good energy, high energy.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what are you doing for your birthday?
I'm actually going to Montreal. I'm going to go visit some family, but my main priority is to go to my grandmother's grave.
In Montreal?
She's buried in Montreal, and I'm big on ancestral veneration. Yeah. So I'm going to go over there, spend some time with her at her gravesite.
Nice. You bringing a baby?
No,
not a baby, so.
It's just us two.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, that's good. Now you were talking about, having your daughter be in therapy from just from a 6 week visit with her dad.
So I wanted to get her in therapy prior to that because of everything she witnessed with us. Yeah. But then I knew, I'm like, if she's going there, she gonna need it, especially when she comes back.
And does he know this?
Oh, he knows she's in therapy.
And there's no.
But I no longer, after the summer that happened, I no longer I don't communicate with him at all. Like I'm done. He's not a parent. So you co-parent with parents. So now I'm definitely just parallel parenting, which is what you do with the narcissist.
It's as many narcissists that I know and that I've experienced, it's still, for some reason, maybe I have a brain block. It boggles my mind that someone could actually go through life not taking accountability for shit.
Yep.
Like, they can do absolutely no wrong. It's always somebody else.
Yeah.
It's always the avoidance of the truth when confronted with the truth. And it's funny that I just had a situation yesterday where a narcissist, I'll tell you about that later, but they got caught in a lie and they got backed into a corner. And when I tell you this part, like a cat back into a corner, they will do anything.
Yeah.
When I say anything, I was in shock yesterday. Anything. Like, how do you live like that? But I guess if you're not taking accountability for shit, there's no guilt for anything, so you don't have to absolve yourself of any guilt because you're not taking accountability. Because especially when it comes to the absent parents, like those kids don't even exist.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know.
And narcissists. So I feel like nowadays everything is trending. So narcissism has become everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
We need to understand that everybody has narcissistic traits. Narcissists are just, I want to say they're diabolical people.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Definitely.
it's not just traits. This is who they are. So that's the difference. People, I just feel like everything you see now is narcissist.
Mm-hmm. Well, you like, we take words and run with it.
Let's like learn let's define shit. Let me, you know what I mean? Like, let's stick to the definition of stuff so that we can know what we're dealing with.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody has narcissistic traits, but a narcissist is a different breed of person.
Oh, definitely. It's like you can't be human. Because it, honestly, like you said earlier, that, you know, the phone and everything has taken away from humanity. Narcissists don't have humanity.
Yeah, they're vampires. They're energy vampires. They're literally, like, I want to say, I remember I was telling her a time when I had an encounter, like there was a altercation between me and my ex, and I looked at him, and it looked like a demon. He looked like a demon.
Mm-hmm.
Like the eyes turned black. Like, it's something, unless you've dealt with a person like that, you don't know what it's like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I can definitely identify with that.
Yeah.
My kids father.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And I think that if you continue to deal with the narcissist, you yourself are going to drive yourself crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Because you, who is a logical thinker, with you trying to figure shit out or trying to help that person to figure things out. Because I know when I was with him, it was like fighting tooth and nail to get you to change, to get you to see things from my point of view, to get you to see things for the greater good of the family, of the kids. And it's like, at one point, you have to pull back like, bitch, this is insanity. You're literally running headfirst into a brick wall and expecting for something different to happen. It's not going to happen if this person does not see it.
Yeah.
A person is not going to change their ways or be accountable for their shit when they see nothing wrong with what they're doing.
Yeah.
Like, it's not hurting me. I'm still having a good time.
Right.
Basically,
and you're over there stressed
kids,
out.
Girl.
You're because also dealing with a narcissist makes you ill. Like, physically. Your cortisol, like, it's scientific. Your cortisol levels up. Your nervous system gets out of whack. Me, I'm 3 years out still trying to balance my nervous system. So that's why I do these detoxes and I step away from the world and I center myself because I'm still not balanced after 3 years. Because they do not only psychological damage, mental, emotional, and spiritual damage, physical and financial. You get abused on every spectrum when you deal with those type of people.
And you know, the same as you know, and I was just talking to my best friend today, and she's like, you know, you've come too far to get pulled back to where you used to be. You know, we sat and we were talking about it, and I just, you know, was reminiscing and thinking about how I used to be. Like you said, you talk about your nerves, always on guard. Yeah. Like, I'd go out and I'd be at a party, like, you know, ready to fight, like with a chip on my shoulder, daring somebody to, mostly females, because he's a cheater as well, you know, mostly females to look at me the wrong way. Or that bitch is too friendly, she's smiling too, you know what I mean? And that, like you said, it makes you fucking sick to your stomach. Yeah. I remember one time his dad came up here from Trinidad, and he's like, he tried to whisper, but I heard him. And he's like, why is she looking so bad? And I remember just going off, because your fucking son is stressing me the fuck out. Yeah. You know, like, I'm here taking care of these damn kids by myself, and he's off doing God knows what. Like, it got to the point, like you said, I had to shut myself off from the world. It's like, I thought that, like, I was always in the house because I was embarrassed, because you out sucking and fucking everything, you know. And then it got to the point, it's like, okay, but I still have to work. I used to teach classes, and it's like, I thought that maybe that was my safe haven. You know, I had my ladies that had stuck with me for years. It got to the point where bitches was coming to the class to see who I was. coming to the class to
God.
question me, or you know what I mean? So it's like the anxiety is like, I'm not safe anywhere.
Yeah.
You know, I can't enjoy my life because of this person, but you don't see anything wrong with it.
Yeah.
You know, you would blame me for finding out shit.
Yeah, because that's their thing. They gaslight you.
Yeah.
And manipulate you and get you to apologize for shit they're doing.
Exactly. Well, maybe I shouldn't have gone through this phone.
Yeah.
I went looking
Oh,
for
it's
something.
my fault.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, how they said, you go looking for something, you're gonna find it.
So if you think about the years that you
Girl,
spend with that person,
19.
and they're doing that to you, they're making you question your own reality.
Yeah.
So, like, people don't understand it's just diabolical, these people. Because even now, like, I tell her, like, there are certain things that trigger me. And it's like, it's nothing that, it's not her, it's just,
No, it's your
I'm back in
Yeah.
this situation again.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm telling myself, it's like, I know I'm not with that person, but my body.
But it's the trauma.
Yeah.
It's the trauma.
Yeah.
You know, I was talking to somebody last week, and the way that she asked me a question was kind of like, what was you, and it triggered the fuck out of me.
Yeah.
It was like, who the fuck, like, and of course, my fight or flight, I've never been known to I've never been known to flight. It's always been fight. It's always been fight. I'm trying to get back. I'm trying to, as you say, ground myself and be. But, but I had to stop, and like you said, it's not your fault. You're not responsible for my triggers, but I have to let you know.
Yep.
Don't ever talk to me like that again.
Right.
This is why.
Yeah.
But just know this shit can't happen again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's 19 years. I was with him for 19 years. My daughter's 7, so we've been separated 7 years. But I still have that.
Yeah. Because he literally seeped into every part of your body. Mental, emotional, neurological.
Yeah.
All that.
Yeah.
Nervous system still probably out of whack.
Girl, I see him.
Yeah.
The heart stops.
Yeah. Like, I remember my daughter had her 5th grade graduation 2 years ago. He was in the back, and I was like, like, knowing that I had to see him made me sick.
Mm-hmm.
You can even ask her, even while my daughter was in Florida, obviously I had to talk to him. I was sick to my stomach, and I'm holistic, Marlin. I had to take medication from a doctor because my stomach I was sick. He makes me sick. Like, that's how much trauma my body associates when I have to deal with him.
Now, do you think that narcissists are born, or are they made?
They're made.
Like, from their own trauma?
Their trauma. So what happens to a narcissist, at least, so I spent years trying to figure out what was wrong with him when we were together. And then I finally started, I'm the type to research, to define things. And when I learned the word, I was like, oh my God, this is what he is. Narcissists, something traumatic happens to them. So like empaths, we're empaths. It's the same.
Remind me to talk about that after. Go ahead. Yes.
It's the same thing. So the narcissist and the empath have a bunch of trauma. Now the empath uses that to heal themselves and to heal others. The narcissist gets stuck or frozen at whatever age that is, mentally and emotionally. And then they use it to hurt people. Yeah. So I think I know why my child's father is like that. In reality, he's a 10-year-old. Because the trauma I'm thinking that happened to him, it happened at 10.
Now, do you think that a narcissist can change? Like,
up to a certain degree, they can. So it's in their nature to be diabolical. So they can alter their ways with lots of work. Like, I follow a narcissist. I think I told you about him last time, Lee. He's been in therapy for years, and he says he still has to fight every day for his life to not be a dick. And he was like, if you are with the narcissist will never change. You're going to have to change to appease that narcissist, especially if they're not working on themselves. And even when they're working on themselves, You're lucky if you have a good day with them.
That's really scary because, like, not for nothing, we talk about when we say mental illness, we think schizophrenia,
Yeah.
we think bipolar,
Mm-hmm.
we think all, I guess, the big name brand ones.
Yeah.
No one really talks about narcissism because, like, that's like not for nothing. That's to me, that's more of a super serious one because it can be hidden.
Well, they call it a personality disorder.
Mm.
It's not. They don't call it mental illness, but I see what you're saying because I do personally.
Maybe not because there's no medication.
Yeah.
For it. No, maybe that's why.
I feel like it should be labeled a
Yeah.
mental illness, but they call it a personality disorder.
So, do you think that narcissism is something that sets in as the person gets older, or do you think that it sets in when they are maybe 10?
So they experience the trauma and they learn coping techniques. And those coping techniques tend to be toxic. As opposed to an empath who their coping technique is their coping technique is probably to cry or to hug it out. The narcissist could be to hurt
people, please.
Yeah. Could be to hurt something. Or to hurt themselves, or to do something sinister. Yeah. Because even when I speak to my child's father's brother, he 100% admits that he's been like this since he was a kid.
It's kind of sad too.
Yeah.
It's like I wonder, as an empath, if they ever sit back. Well, I know my kid's father. He's one of those. I'm gonna drink all day. I'm gonna fuck all day. I'm gonna avoid being by myself. I don't want to deal with my demons. I know that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I wonder if and when they ever get a chance to sit down with their demons, if they ever say, I don't want to be like this anymore.
Well, yeah, they
hate themselves.
Yeah,
I think so.
They hate themselves, but they never sit down and actually.
Yeah, I would say, because
say
not for nothing with him, he does a lot of self-sabotaging behaviors.
and they know. So at their core, we all have a subconscious and a conscious, right? We have a consciousness. So they know that they ain't shit. They know they hurt people. And like with me, I remember there are times he would fall on his knees and cry.
Oh, the acting.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, the acting, but in that acting is like,
why is it the same?
Yeah.
I swear to God, I just met this woman a year ago.
Yeah.
And it's the same story.
Yeah.
The crying and the
wailing, and then
please don't leave me.
I would tell her about the times. You remember that video, the Usher video when he confessions, he kneels to Chili and he's hugging her. I've had that where he's on his knees. Please don't leave me. Yeah, and it's bullshit.
Of course.
But a part of that is them
don't see it.
Yeah.
We want so bad. I'm gonna heal you.
Yeah.
You're my little project.
But that's also what you wanted to talk about. That's trauma bonding. We have so that's something for you to identify though when you take a look at, like when I sit back and look at why I was connected to this man, it all stemmed from my father. Daddy issues.
So when you say trauma bonding, it's not necessarily, hey, we have the same kind of trauma. It's just I have a trauma, you have a trauma. I need somebody to lean on you. Like explain trauma bonding.
So trauma bonding, it could mean that y'all are bonding on the same thing, like, oh, you know, my dad used to hit my mom, my dad used to hit my mom, or it's my dad left me and my dad used to hit my mom, or I'm being raised by they could be similar, or it could just be trauma. So for me and him, it was similar trauma. His dad was abusive, my dad was abusive to my mom. His mom was a single mom, had to move for her safety, move into, subsidized housing. So it was all similarities that caused us to bond together. And then when I, like now that I've healed, I look back, healed from that. I look back and I'm like, we would have nothing in common if he came in right now. So had I never experienced that and I healed and met him today, I'd be like, ew. Like we have nothing in common because I healed that dad wound.
Yeah.
and that's what made me mess with him, was my father wound. But a lot of people are not going to look at themselves and be like, oh, you shouldn't victim shame. I'm not victim blaming. I'm saying there's something that causes us to attract these people and to stay with these people. And once we heal that, we no longer have anything in common with these people.
Now, do you think, because it's, and this is just my opinion, there's not that I know of any statistics to prove it or disprove it, that I see a lot of women, and I'm going to say women, because I'm speaking for women right now. There might be men out there that are empaths. I don't know. There's definitely women out there. I'm not going to displace and say that there's no female narcissists.
Oh, there are. And women are better at it than men.
But, I mean, I see a lot of women who are empaths, or maybe not even empaths, it's good women who get hooked up with a narcissist. Like a majority of women that I do know that are in relationships, they're with a narcissist. And you'll look at it and it's like, you're such, like they're such good people, these women. And then it's like, you have this narcissist who's leeching off of you, who's abusing you, who's gaslighting you, you know? So do you think that empaths seek out narcissists or narcissists seek out empaths, or it just happens?
No, narcissists seek out empaths. And then, or they seek out strong women. So when you get with a narcissist, they break you down and make you feel like they got with you because you were weak. But in actuality, they got with you because you were strong. So why would they try to break down a weak woman? She would already be broken. They have to chip at you every fucking day. Every argument, every side comment, everything that they know, like insecurities, they bring it up. Why would they do that? If you were weak, you would already be broken. You know what I mean? So you already, and for me, it's a spiritual thing as well. I feel like lots of women, especially, us melanated women, we have spiritual callings from our ancestors. And when we don't follow that calling, we come into contact with these demonic entities that try to keep us away from our calling. Because if you're so, enthralled with a narcissist, you're not going to be able to fulfill your destiny because you're going to be too broken. By the time he's done with you, where are you going? How can you help other women when you yourself are broken? How can you fulfill your calling and do the stuff that you want to do or were called to do when you don't even have the energy to get up every day? I know dealing with this dude used to have me up at 3 a.m. yelling and screaming at me when I had to work at 7 a.m. I could barely work.
He didn't want you to work.
No.
I swear, was that old song, All Around the World, the same song? I swear it is. I talk to other women, it's the same shit.
Yeah.
Black women, white women, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Hispanic women, it doesn't matter. And I'm coming into contact with a lot of them. And I started to even question myself, like, why are all these women, it seems like they're gravitating to me. Like I had gone out a few weeks ago, and a friend of mine who is like very spiritual, and she's like, what is your intent on going out? I was like, I'm trying to go get drunk. Like, what are you talking about? She's like, no, you have to move with intention. And I didn't. At that point, I didn't have any intention. My thing was like, it's Saturday, I ain't got no kids, there's drinks, I'm going out, And then when I got there, I met at least 2 women. Not met them, like I knew them from, back in the day of just being out. And both of them like just came to me and was like, I've listened to the podcast and and how do you do it? And it turned into like this spiritual exchange where they're talking about their narcissist kid's father or, abusive relationships and like asking me like, how do you do it? And you have 6 kids and it just became like this dialogue between us. And it's like, I left there like, I didn't leave the house today with intentions of healing anybody, but that's what happened. You know what I mean? So, I said all that to say, it's not just us melanated women. It's damn near every woman who deals with a narcissist. And it's scary to think that, like you said, that there are these vampires walking around seeking out strong women, seeking out empath. And if you are an empath, I think you definitely have to do the work to protect yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know me for myself, it's easy for me to feel like, oh, I'm gonna heal you. I'm gonna, like I was just saying to my friend today, I'm like, I take on people's problems too fucking much.
Yeah.
Like I can't ever, like she was telling me, she's like, oh, this woman came to me and her husband did this and blah blah blah. She's like, I gave her a hug, gave her some words, and sent her on her way. And I was like, wow. I was like, how the fuck do you do that? Because me, I still be looking like, hey Barbara, are you okay? You know what I mean? Barbara's not my project, but I take on other people's energy and other people's problems. Then I get upset with myself. It's like I don't have time for myself, or I get upset when I'm like, nobody's there to do that shit for me. When
and then you have to ask yourself, what is it in you that needs to be healed that you feel like you need to put so much effort into somebody else?
Pour into yourself, right?
Because you can't pour from an empty cup. Yeah. And even though everybody's not your project and everybody's not your mission, so like she sees it, I have women who, like, they be coming to me so much on Instagram, or, you know, you should do a retreat, like you should host a retreat for you know, women who've dealt with narcissists. And I'm like, and I will give women the links of people that I've seen, but they're like, no, you should do it. And I'm like, right now that's not my mission. You know, and even, you know, people
and listen to me. I just talked about taking on other people's problems. I'm sitting like, you should do it. You know, you should. And trying to give you a project, but at least you have that discernment to say, you know what, I'm not. It's not. I can't do that right now. You know, whereas me, I jump off the cliff like, let's do it.
Because it's like, I need to make sure that I am not reliving my trauma. And like, especially with these detoxes I do every now and again, it brings up certain stuff that I'm like, wow, I haven't healed that yet. And I know I don't need to be fully healed to help anyone, but I want to make sure that I am not going to be triggered by certain things. Like, no, I don't have to be perfect, but if I'm going to lead women, I'm not just going to do it just for clout, because I don't feel like healers should move like that. You need to make sure you are passionate and you are right with self before you go out and try to be an apostle or whatever. Like, no. Because there's too many fake people right now coming in the name of, I don't know.
Girl, with social media. Somebody hit me up the other day. There's something in you that
Be careful with those
that you haven't tapped into yet. Queen, I'm here to help you. DM me.
Yeah, don't ever do that.
Like, girl, if God sent you, I'm sure He didn't send you through Facebook.
No.
The ancestors sent you, they didn't send you through Facebook.
And if they have a message for you, like, she's seen it where if I have a message for somebody, I'm giving it to you. I'm not going to charge you for it. I'm not going to, because I come from it's a bloodline. I come from a family of healers, and they were not working like that. Like, if you have a message, you need it. Because when I have a message, I remember I had to tell this girl, I had to tell her that I couldn't even function. I had to deliver it. So when you have a message, you're not going to say, oh, it's $100 for this message. Because it doesn't, you can't even, I couldn't even function because I was like, I need to tell her. And when I told her, it was like the most beautiful exchange. She was like, oh my God, how did you know? I don't know how I knew. How would I have known? So this was a message that was meant for you. It came for you, and I'm giving it to you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So people need to be very careful with these TikTok spiritualists, these Instagram spiritualists, playing with certain shit that they have no business playing with. I just sip my tea and mind my business.
Now, do you think that, I don't know, it's like you said, with the being an empath and, you know, stuff like that. Sorry. You know, I was talking to my friend in Cali, and she's like, you know, if you have these gifts, because I told her I was struggling. I was like, it's a lot to take on other people's issues or to take on, you know, other people's energy. And she's like, you don't have to.
Yeah.
She's like, you can tell the universe no. I don't know how I feel about that, because I feel like the ancestors are calling you, if the universe is calling you to do something, like who are you to say no? You know what I mean?
Right.
Because then you're not living your truth. You're
Right.
not living your authentic self, who you were called to be, who you were put here to be.
Right.
You know?
I would say, again, everything is a choice, and we learned that in voodoo, that everybody has a choice. So if you did say to the universe, "I'm all set," that's okay. But if you decided to keep going, you need to get right with self first. So before you take on any projects, you need to make sure you're right. I'm not saying perfect, but to the point where you feel like, okay, I can do this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, there are times that I'll bless a candle for somebody, or I'll do it like I've done. I go to people's houses and cleanse it for them. But these are things that I feel I can do. You know what I mean? I make spiritual baths for people. You have to know.
I'm not joking. I'm so serious.
You have to know with self, which is why you have to do things to connect with yourself. Like cutting isolation.
I have no problem with the isolation part. I really don't.
But but in isolation, what are you doing though? Are you just cutting off the world? Are you meditating? Are you connecting with self? Are you journaling? Are you practicing stillness? Because you can be alone, yeah. But what are you doing when you're alone? Are you watching TV?
Yeah.
You on your phone? You distracted? You talking to somebody? Or are you sitting there and letting your mind work, letting spirit talk to you, or whatever you believe in, your higher power, your ancestors, whatever? Because a lot of people, they're like, oh yeah, I can be alone, but they're on their phone, they're watching TV, they can't just sit and be still. Like, no.
That's more of avoidance.
Yeah.
We talked about that as well. It's like, the question had never been posed to me when I said, I was like, I was single for 7 years and I was by myself and I was fine. The person was like, were you happy? And I had to stop and think about it, and I was like, I was avoiding.
Yeah.
For a very long time, I was avoiding. But then at some point, there was like a light bulb went off, and I had to switch. And I did have to start sitting with myself, and like you said, journaling and thinking, and talking with my own demons. I talk about him and his demons. Like I had to sit and talk with my shit. There was times when I get up in the morning, it's like I couldn't look at myself in the mirror because I knew I wasn't doing what I was supposed to do. I knew I wasn't looking my truth. And again, taking accountability for the role that I played in the relationship. And I know it sounds asinine because, people will come at you when you say, well, what role did you play in the failure of the relationship? Well, I stayed too long.
Yeah.
Like, that's some real shit.
And that's a choice you made.
Yeah, But it's like, I'm not saying I was perfect in a relationship, but motherfucker, I know what I did. And what I did was stay too long.
Yep.
It wasn't like I wasn't the one who's cheating, beating, sucking, fucking, none of that shit. I stayed too long. I stayed, like you said, because of a trauma bond, or I stayed because I felt bad for you because of the trauma that you went through. And I felt like it was my duty. I have to love him enough so that he heals. I have to be the mom that he never had, the girlfriend, the dad, the person to heal you and change you.
Yep.
And you can't change a narcissist.
No. And that also
you will kill yourself.
Lack of self-love for yourself too. Because once you start loving yourself, right, you're not going to accept less. So you're going to, like, the minute I did that 180, I was like, what am I doing here? Like, love is respect, and somebody who loves me is not going to treat me like this because I don't treat myself like this. And even after I left that relationship, me and her sister were laughing how everything became a ritual for me. Like putting on lotion. I would have nights that I lit candles. I put on lotion. I romanticized myself because I'm like, the next person I get with, if they can't give this to me, I'm good. I bought myself flowers. I took myself out. Yeah. I took myself on trips because that's going to set you up. Like, the next person that comes in is like, what can you do for me? How can you? And it's not monetary.
Yeah.
It's not material. It's
Definitely.
how can you make me feel? Because I already make myself feel good. I love myself. So what can you do for me? And I'm not asking you for money because nowadays we on a whole different bracket of, you know, people think it's monetary things that make somebody real.
Yeah.
It's just not.
Yeah. What you got. And I think, and again, it goes back to the social media shit.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, of course, back in the day, no ma'am. Sorry. I'm recording. Go in your room, please. Hi, Mimi. Bye, Mimi. I'll come check on you. You know, we gotta, everything's a show.
Yep.
We gotta show how much money we got. We gotta show this, and we gotta show this person did this for me. Because, like you said, if it ain't, what you say? If it ain't snapping, it ain't happening.
Yeah. If I don't catch it on Snap, it didn't happen. It's like people can't even go out. Like, even before I did this detox, I told them, like, I'm gonna start being more conscious about being present. Like, if I'm like when we were at Reggae Fest, I hardly pulled my phone out because I'm in the moment. These pictures are fun, videos are fun, but memories. What happened to good old memories? Just being there and, you know, looking around and watching everything happen. You got everybody with their phone out. Like, you can't even just sit and be still. And before you eat, you gotta, like, come on.
You gotta remember the meal, though.
Yeah, come on.
No, but on a serious note, though, from my brother passing, I always took videos, and I'm kind of happy that I did.
Yeah.
That's a positive part of that. But also, we do force
It could be excessive.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. But I look at people and I'm like, you are in Dubai. Are you having a good time? Why am I seeing you every hour? You know, like, I'll take videos
especially when you see, you know, couples on vacation together. Y'all can't just be
enjoy
together.
each other.
You got to set up a whole system to record everything you're doing.
Everybody's a fucking what is it?
Influencer.
Thank you.
Is that what it is? Yeah.
Everybody's an influencer now.
Oh.
You know, I have to get X amount of likes. You can't live without likes, Lord. I don't need no food, no bread, no water. Give me likes.
Yeah. And it's no shade to people who are influencers, whatever, get your bag, but it's like, for me, I just feel like we're losing humanity. We're losing the connections that we once had with each other. Now everything is through the phone. It's an idol.
It really is. You can't live without your phone.
You can't.
You can get halfway to work
and forget your phone, and you're gonna rush home.
Right back.
Yeah, no. I have been like, I noticed too, even myself, I'm like, oh my God. And that made me realize, like, this is humanity. The first 2 days was rough for me to get off social media. And the things that I do on social media, you see, like, I post a lot of spiritual stuff, you know, some funny stuff, but mostly on my feed is a bunch of spiritual stuff. And it's like, it felt like a drug. The first 2 days I was like,
it is.
And then I was like, Lord.
If I take my son's phone away right now,
it's like you go through withdrawals.
It's war.
Yeah.
It's war.
And that has to make you think, like, that's not healthy. Like, now I told her, I'm like, now I sit on my lunch break. I think. I have thoughts coming in my head. I'm chilling. I'm sitting under trees at lunch. Like, it's nice to not be all up in my phone. I'm bringing books. I'm reading on my lunch. Like, doing the things that I like to do. Getting up early in the morning to do yoga and meditate. Like, instead of scrolling on my phone.
Oh, yeah. You
When I wake up. Yeah.
So many hours scrolling at night. Or be bad like me. I'll be in the bed with one eye like this.
Yeah.
Buying sneakers. I had a pair of sneakers pop up at the house and I was like, who ordered these? Oh,
yeah, that was me.
Up till 4 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, that part. It's crazy. And if you even think about it, it's like we are so attached to our phones and social media. Imagine if Zuckerberg just decided to shut all this shit down tomorrow. You know the chaos?
Or imagine if we had like a blip in whatever in whatever this is called, where you can't even use your phone.
Yeah.
What will we do?
That's what I mean. It reminds me of what was that damn movie? I think it was like the Purge movie. People running in the streets and people just committing all, just being crazy. Like it's anarchy.
Yeah.
You know, I really imagined that it would be because like people can't breathe without their phone.
No. And it's like, what kind of skills do we really have as people? Can we even grow our own? Can we grow on our own food? If the markets stop working right now, can we grow our own food? Can we clean our own water? Do we know how to do that? But we on social media.
Maybe the internet is good for that if we want to learn how to.
But if it wasn't there,
we'll have to learn it. But I mean, this should have been around for a long time. So our kids ain't gonna have these skills.
Yeah.
They're not gonna have anything. My daughter the other day, she called me today. She's like, the toilet is clogged. I'm at work. Unclog it.
Yeah.
But then I think about it. I'm like, my little ones, they don't know nothing. They don't know nothing about like doing shit. You know what I mean? Whereas the other ones, my daughter is like a self-made fucking mechanic. You know, my older daughter. Whereas these ones, you can't plunge your toilet.
Yeah.
You know, that it's. I don't know. Social media it's a good thing and it's a bad thing at the same time.
I think it's a balance thing, and you have to figure out how much of it is too much, and how much consumption is too much. Like if you're sitting down and for 20 minutes and 18 of those minutes your phone's in your hand, then you got to figure out like, okay, maybe I need to figure something out.
Detox.
Yeah.
Get a hobby.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Because I am guilty. I don't use my phone to call nobody.
And that's what the phone was originally made for calls.
Yeah. No, I can't tell you how many phone calls I make or receive per day.
Yeah.
On social media.
Because I'm still very old fashioned. I don't like texting. I like phone conversations.
Yeah.
And we are now in a society where people are like, oh, don't call me, text me. I'm like, then you'll never hear from me because I hate texting. But it's like, that's how impersonal we're getting as a society. I was going to say, impersonal and can't have a conversation. Because can you really have a serious conversation through text?
No. I don't think so.
I need to hear tone. I need to hear the, your voice deflections.
Exactly,
I need to hear it to see what's going on.
Yeah. Because if I read it and I'm in a mood, I'm reading it.
I don't like how you capitalize in.
Exactly. What you mean, good morning? You know? What's so good about you know? So the same as you call me.
Yeah.
Because I tell anybody, if I meet somebody off the rip, if you're interested in me, you got to show me.
Yeah.
Do not text me.
Yeah.
That's the first thing.
None of this grand rising.
Yeah. Oh,
good morning.
Lord, don't grand rising.
Don't grand rising. Please don't. Please.
You know, if you start texting shit.
See ya. Yeah.
We're done. I'm not doing that.
I'm not big in texting at all. It's when her and I started dating that texting was a thing, but texting? No, call me.
You can't have a conversation.
No.
Through texting. I get to know you through texting.
No.
Who are you?
I need to hear your voice.
Yeah.
I need to hear, how you sound when you're happy. So, because I'm a very, observant person. So I pay attention to things like that. Your face, your voice, your tone.
Yeah.
Like, how can I get to know you through messages?
Right. Girl, don't get me started. I'll be like FaceTiming. FaceTiming. I need to see your background and see how you living over there.
Yeah.
I like up close and personal. I like connections.
Yeah, me too.
And I don't feel like you definitely can't get that through text.
No.
You can kind of sort of, but not even exactly get it through the phone. Yeah. A phone conversation, you can tell me anything. Your mom can tell me anything. Right. You know what I mean? But with the texting, and I also feel like between texting and, this new language that these kids have.
Oh God, yeah. I don't get it.
So it's like,
these kids making me feel like I'm 60 years old.
Girl, not even just that, but it's like, how y'all gonna go on job interviews? How you gonna fill out an application, using BRB and, LOLs and IDKs?
And that's the thing. Her and I were talking about the other day. We're getting to a point where people don't understand time and place no more.
No.
There is a time and place for everything under the sun. You cannot go to a job interview and talk like that.
Oh, I thought you were going to say pajamas. I had somebody put on social media the other day, did these girls really come into an interview in pajamas?
I can't. I really can't. And it's no shade to anybody. I talk certain ways sometimes around my friends.
Mm-hmm.
I act a certain way, but there's a time and a place for everything under the sun. You cannot be acting like that, like how I be twerking, saying yes, girl, like when I'm with my friends having a good. I'm not gonna go around elders and act like that.
Exactly. But this
But
generation doesn't care.
In this generation, it's like, oh, I'm not changing myself for nobody, or you're not gonna shame me.
Mm-hmm.
That's not shame. It's time and place. How is that shame when it's time and place?
It's upbringing.
Yeah.
You know. These kids, I don't know. I think we've given these kids, and that's probably totally a different subject or a different day. We've given these kids too much. I don't want to say freedom, but too many liberties. And I'm all for. Feel your feelings and express yourself and stuff like that. Because we weren't able to. Girl,
right.
You roll your eyes, you breathe too heavy,
Slap.
backhand.
Yep.
So I'm glad that we have gotten away from that with our kids. But when we do that, sometimes, like you said, you have to find the balance. But sometimes a little too much. Like I know with my kids, I always say the trio, the Trinity and the trio. The Trinity are the older three, and the trio is the younger three.
Right.
The Trinity, all over it. Washing walls, Saturday morning, like. And those are the ones who are mostly independent and can, fix cars and do whatever shit on their own. Whereas the trio is kind of like, they're spoiled, and sometimes they're spoiled to a point. It's like, I let y'all express yourself and be who you're going to be. But sometimes when Isis get that, she's like, girl, whoa, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Let's reel it back just a little bit, But I, am guilty because I've given y'all that space to do the open
communication.
Yes.
But what I tell my daughter is, and I say in general, feelings are fleeting. So you can get up one day and feel a certain way. In a few hours, you're not going to feel that way.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to get control. This is where emotional maturity comes in. And this is where we have to learn that.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot base everything off a feeling. Because sometimes you get up and you're like, oh, I can't. Like even in relationships, you get up and you're like, oh, she pissing me off today. But then in 2 hours, you're like, no, she's so cute. Now imagine if because that moment she was pissing you off, you were like, oh, go to hell.
Yeah.
Then you just fucked up the whole day when you could have just sat back with yourself and been like, all right, let me just check myself real quick, see what's going on, do a little inner dialogue, and then carry on with my day.
Because that's hard.
Yeah.
And takes effort. And a lot of people ain't, like you said, emotionally immature. So they would rather point the finger at you. It's easier to point the finger outward than it is inward.
Yeah.
Say maybe I'm the problem.
And that's the thing, a lot of people too, like I'm the type of person when, like I feel a type of way, before I react, I'm going to go in. Just to see, like, is this me?
For the most part, I do.
Yeah, I'm going to go in and be like, okay, is this a me thing or is this a them thing?
And if I don't, I phone a friend. What was that old TV show? I think I need to phone a friend. Because I'm like, bitch, I need
Who
you to check.
wants to be a millionaire? That's what it was.
Bitch, I need you to check me because I don't know if I'm right in this situation. Before I go off. And then,
but some people can't deal with that. Where it's like, well, why didn't you say anything? Well, I'm trying to figure me out first. I'm trying to figure me out before I come at you for anything. Because what if I come at you and then tomorrow I don't give a fuck about it?
Exactly.
So then now we just wasted a whole day for what? For what?
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I think the level of work that needs to be done is a lot of people aren't going to do it.
No.
And we have a lot of people pretending to do the work.
Oh, especially with social media, especially with all these, like you said, these social media spiritualists.
Oh, God, yeah. I don't know. I can't. And people will be like, oh, well, what do you think about this person? I'm like, I'm not going to go badmouth anybody who's doing that, but it's like, if you don't get to know somebody, like, I can fully say who I am on social media is who I am in real life. I live my life. The things I post, I live like that. So, and anybody who's around me sees that. But there are people who are posting, they're not living like that. They're not sticking to their beliefs. They don't actually care. They're not actually doing shit to to get connected with their inner selves or to heal. They're doing shit just for likes.
Mm-hmm. And to pretend to be somebody who they're not,
Yeah.
so you believe it.
Yeah.
It's like, I know you in real life.
Yeah.
You know, I think we talked about that before. It's like, sis, bro, I know you in real life.
Yeah.
But I mean, some people pretend so what, they even start to believe the shit themselves.
Yeah.
That's the scary part.
Yeah.
Because it's like, if I'm meeting you, I don't know who the fuck you are. I don't know what I'm going to get from you. I don't know who I'm dealing with on a day-to-day basis.
Right. Right.
And that could be volatile. This shit, you might forget who the fuck you are. You know what I mean?
Right.
You might
And then
forget
now
who you are.
we both don't know who
Right.
you are.
Like, I don't know how to move with you. I
Yeah.
got to knuckle up on
Yeah,
what,
right.
you know?
Yeah. That's why I barely associate with anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Literally, circle is this small.
Girl, my circle's a dot.
Yeah.
Period. A dot.
Yeah, and it's not that I've manifested this openly and privately. It's not that my heart is closed to meeting new people, but I am particular about the type of, especially women, I want to be around, because we live in a society where women, they can be very bitter, they can be self-loathing, and they can, because they have so much trauma inside, it projects outside. And when you are in the presence of a genuinely happy woman, there's something different about her. Her air is different. Like, she radiates such energy that you're just like, wow, I want to be around this. And that's the type of energy I want to be around. No shade to the women that who are healing, because we're all healing. But what are you projecting? How are you? Like, they'll see a woman in a happy relationship. Oh, well, all you do is all she does is be around her partner. Shorty, you can't be happy for her.
Yeah. Or they bring up your past. I remember back when she used to,
Yeah.
you know.
And I'm sorry, but nothing keeps a woman single more than her single friends. And that is facts, because I have experienced it while being with her.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, you wouldn't even think that your friends would feel like this. It's like, yo, I'm finally happy. Why are you not rooting for me?
Do you think that it's because they're single or they just not happy with themselves? Period.
Both. And I don't think it's jealousy. I think that sometimes people just project because they're not working on themselves. So the type of things that are happening in their life is not in alignment with what they want. But that's not my fault, because you're not doing the work. I have been very particular, even before she came around. I was straight. I know what I want in my life, and I'm not going to settle for less. A lot of females, it's quantity over quality. So they're getting all these DMs, all these, these snaps, and they're like, oh, look at all these niggas that are on me. 90% of them niggas are not about shit. 90% of these niggas just want to fuck and make you a cum dumpster and transfer their toxic energy into you so that you can walk around even more sadder, more depressed, more bitter, more angry, because you got this man's energy in your vessel. But you so hyped up because you getting all this attention. No, I don't need the attention. I need the quality. I need quality and authentic and genuine connections on every form. And I don't care if that means I have one dude hitting me up or just, I'm dating two dudes. At least I'm dating two high quality. You know what I mean? But that requires you to be alone. And that's the thing. We're so hyped up on attention these days that only talking to one or two dudes is not the wave. It's not the wave. You gotta have all these. You gotta be able to show that you are desirable.
Every woman is desirable, especially with a woman who deals with niggas, because their ultimate goal is to fuck. Like, sis, you think you're the only one who's desiring? Like,
right. And then this good pussy thing. It's like, okay, sis, all right. Like, you got good pussy, yeah, okay. So what else do you have? So does she. Yeah.
The niggas.
Yeah.
Good to them.
Yeah.
I don't care what niggas say. Not all pussy. But you still fuck it.
You still fucked it though. You still now. Granted, you as a female, you know when you got that good, because there's certain things, and I read somewhere it's like, if your pussy is good, why aren't you able to manifest certain better connections in your life? Why do you keep attracting these niggas that don't want nothing from you? Because if it was so good, you would believe that it's good, and you wouldn't be giving it to everybody. So it takes a level of accountability too to have different experiences. And a lot of women get mad when you say that, but it's like, I'm not calling you out. I'm not saying, I'm asking you to look at yourself. What are you doing with yourself that's causing you to waste your time?
You said it takes a level of self-worth.
Yeah.
And then we're not just talking about the pussy, y'all. We're talking about self.
Everything.
Everything.
You're not going to give a nigga a morsel of your time. Forget pussy. You're not going to give him time if he's not worth it.
Like you said, people get so caught up on the quantity. They get caught up on the, he's paying attention to me. You know?
Dude, I can go down the street and get attention. Why do I need...
What woman, not for that, when you're dealing with men, what woman doesn't get attention? I think we talked about the last time you were here. You walk out the front door, there's dick being thrown at your forehead. Like, you know, like, that's nothing special.
Yeah.
It's really nothing special.
At work, getting hit on by elderly patients. Like, what? You got old white men trying to throw dick at me. Like,
Not special.
no.
And not for nothing, dick comes a dime a dozen. So it's like, sis, it's not the prize.
It's not.
It's not the prize.
It's not. And then it's like, I have, certain females that'll be like, oh, he hit it so good or whatever. But when you're in a toxic relationship,
Girl,
the sex
that's the best
is
sex.
because you're not getting nothing else.
That's the best sex because
You're deprived of everything else.
Your mind is clouded, and not for nothing. You know how they say STDs, you're sexually transmitted demons.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you're sleeping with a demon.
Yeah. And that's the
and
thing.
you don't have any self-worth. So
you're deprived of basic respect.
Mm-hmm.
You're deprived of everything else that a relationship is supposed to have. So you're going to feel like the sex is bomb. But the sex probably mid, sis.
Once you get
start
your healing,
you're like,
like,
what the hell? Right.
You know, there was a girl today on TikTok. I follow her. She's from here, and she moved down south. But she was saying, her childhood has been so toxic. She's been in so many different toxic relationships that now she's actually with a partner that is everything she's ever prayed for. She's like, and I'm scared as fuck. She's like, I don't know how to accept it. So that's like the other side of coming out of being an abusive relationship, coming out of being with a narcissist, and going on your healing journey. And it's like, it's great for me to be healing when I'm single, but now when I'm with someone else, how do I accept? Like, I can accept that I love myself, but how can I accept that you love me? Like, this is scary. This is foreign to me.
True, but what I can say is the most of your healing is going to come when you get into that relationship. So I did a lot of work by myself, but it wasn't until I got with her that I realized how much more work I needed to do.
That's scary.
Because she's healthy and she's nothing like him. So it put me in a position where I'm like, damn. Like, I didn't realize, like, I was like, damn, I've been single for, almost 2 years now by myself. I've been doing the work. Then she comes along and trigger after trigger after trigger after trigger. And it's true what they say. The relationship that you get into after a narcissist is the hardest thing you're ever going to fucking do. There's, you're doing so much work on yourself that your partner has no clue of. Nobody has no clue of. Because it's not their responsibility. It is not her responsibility to hold my hand because she didn't hurt me. She did not hurt me. She didn't do nothing to me. So,
but the funny thing, not to cut you off, the funny thing is she will though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
She will.
But you'll give her pushback because you feel like it's not your responsibility.
It's not your responsibility. And like there are things I've learned to communicate with her along the way, and it also takes a special type of person to be with somebody who's been abused, because they have to require a level of patience and understanding and the ability to just be able to look within themselves and like, can I do this? Or if they do lose their patience, it's not their fault. You know what I mean? This is a very particular situation and it's tricky. So y'all both need to have communication and have uncomfortable conversations very often, because that relationship after a narcissist, whoo, it's not easy at all. It's gonna trigger you in ways you thought you're gonna think you already healed, but you haven't. You have, and we're over a year in, and I'm still getting triggered by certain stuff. But I work through it because nothing to her. That's me, and I need to make myself be like, this is a new relationship. This is something new, and whenever and if ever I feel like it's too much, then I bring it to her like, I'm really having trouble with this. But we also need to learn, as people who are healing, that our partners are not our counselors. They're not our therapists. They're your partner. So you shouldn't ever get that twisted. Because I have a therapist. I have friends I can speak to. Your partner is your partner. Yeah, people get so caught up like, oh, they're everything. No, your partner is your partner. If you feel like you need more, you need to get yourself a therapist, sis. Because that works. My therapist has been with me for 3 years now. And it's probably been the most beneficial thing I've ever done, for not only for myself, but for as a mother, as somebody and a partner, as a friend, as a sister, as a daughter. Being in therapy has taught me how to deal with so much shit. Yeah.
Girl, every time you come here, you give me so much to think about. I be sitting here, but I'm gonna stay up all night. I gotta be at work at 4 anyway. I know I'm gonna stay up all night just thinking, right? Talking shit out. Like, it's crazy. But thank you guys. I ain't gonna keep y'all for 4 hours today. And before y'all leave, I'm gonna save this goddamn episode.
Yeah, you both got work tomorrow, so it can't be our 4-hour sessions again.
6. Yeah.
And she went today. She went this morning.
Yeah, me too. It was fucking torture. Couldn't wait to get the hell out of there.
I bet.
Like, oh my god. It's boring there. Like you know how Northeastern was. I'm sorry, Northeastern was lit.
Yeah.
This is boring.
I kind of have the same crew. Oh, I'll tell you after. One of our
So anyway, yeah. So let's wrap this up. Thank you
Yeah.
guys for coming, and Angie and Marlene. Thank you so
for
much
having
always for
me.
the spiritual gifts and all the enlightenment and just the energy, the empowerment that I get from you. And please shout out again where we can find you.
Sacred Elevation Wear on Instagram. Sacred Elevation Wear on Etsy.
Thank you guys for listening, and we are out of here. Everybody say bye.
Bye.
Save. I said, first of all, I'm glad that y'all are so frank. You know, save.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Yeah, I listened to that freaky girl too.
Yeah,
She freaky. Wait, that one. That's the one that is in church, right? But also,
she's the church of slut.
yeah.
No, wait, you're talking about somebody else.
There was somebody that was a Christian that's out here wilding.
Christian swinger.
Yeah.
She's different than the other girl. The other girl, she said she does go to church. She said that the name of the church is the Church of Slut, where they do.
Is this still recording?
No. Oh, that?
Yeah.
I don't know. It looked like it glitched while we was over here, so it might have shut down. I don't know how much time they give you to record. This is
It's still going.
Oh, it is?
Damn.
Damn. That was, okay. All right, well, we're good. We got some and record.